Hey folks, welcome back to Tech, and More Tech. I'm Carlo, and this is the Chromecast with Google TV. As always, if you prefer a more detailed written review, head on over to techmoretech.com or check the link in the description right below that like button. Now, I gotta confess, I never liked the original Chromecast. I appreciated what it did, but I hated that it was only controlled with your phone, and as an Apple TV user, it was a step down in functionality. We're now in 2020, and streaming sticks are aplenty. Even most TVs have smart TV functionality and interfaces, and Google has decided to revamp the Chromecast completely. The new Chromecast with Google TV is now its own complete standalone streaming stick. It has its own interface and even a remote. It's a flat pod-shaped device with a flappy HDMI connector attached to it, and it comes in 3 different colors: white, blue, or pink. I appreciate the HDMI connector is separate from the body of the Chromecast because it means when you plug it into your TV, it'll only ever take up one HDMI spot, and you can kind of maneuver the pod thing around to make sure it doesn't interfere with any of your other cables. The other end of the Chromecast has a single USB-C power input, and provided in the box is a USB-C cable and a power adapter. Unlike previous Chromecast though, you can't plug this into your TV, it doesn't give it enough power. So instead you have to plug it into the wall. Quick tangent on the wall plug, the cable provided is a USB-C to a USB-A port with a USB-A power adapter. To me this is super frustrating because they include everything in the box, so why would it not all just be USB-C so we can move on to the single port future that we deserve. Setting up the Chromecast is about as simple as it gets. You plug it in, you connect to Wi-Fi, and then you connect to your Google account and any other streaming service that you have. Thankfully, this can all be done in the Google Home app on your phone. If you've used a streaming stick or a modern smart TV in the past couple of years, then the interface for Google TV is going to be really familiar to you. At the top, you've got the sort of familiar tabs like For You, Movies, Shows, Apps, and Library. And each of these is kind of a combination of curated stuff for you and popular titles at the time. The first thing I noticed when I started playing around with it was just how quick and sort of smooth it was. Compared to most TV interfaces and even the cheaper streaming sticks, the Chromecast just felt great right off the bat. Movies and shows were really quick to start playing, Google Assistant was super quick to answer any sort of questions, and even scrubbing through media was really quick and smooth as well. The Chromecast does also support HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and Dolby Vision standards. Navigating around the Chromecast is now done with the new remote. It's small and compact and does pretty much everything you need it to do. It can turn your TV on, it can turn it off, it can control the volume, and it can also change the inputs on your TV. So theoretically, this is the only remote you'll ever have to use again. You've also got 2 dedicated media buttons for YouTube and Netflix. These can't be reprogrammed though, and I really kind of wish they would. I think it'd be great to be able to go into like the developer settings or something like that and change that to maybe trigger an automation or open up any other app of your choosing. I think this would go a long way to make this more smart home friendly. The rest of the buttons are exactly as what you would expect. You've got a directional pad up top, you've got back, home, mute, and Google Assistant. You can't have a streaming stick in 2020 without a voice AI, and Google Assistant is about as good as it gets. Besides being able to find all your favorite movies and TV shows and stuff like that, it can also control your smart home. You can ask Google Assistant to set a scene or change the setting of any of your connected smart home devices, and it will. What's also great is the TV doesn't have to be on for that to happen. You can just grab the remote, press the button, and give your command, and it'll happen without turning on the TV. Google Assistant can also give you personalized answers based on your voice profile, so like telling you your calendar appointments and stuff like that. But it doesn't go so far as to set reminders and set timers and things like that. Probably because if you turn the TV off, well, then it can't notify you when something happens. One of my favorite features of Google TV, it seems so obvious that it's crazy that this is the first time I'm really seeing it. And that's the Library tab. Really should be called the watch list tab because that's what it is, a watch list. You can add any TV show or movie to the watch list just by viewing it and then clicking on add to watch list, which isn't super impressive, but the better sort of integration is the fact that you can do it from your phone. So if your friends or something recommend a movie, you can just Google that movie, and then right there on the homepage of Google you can just tap add to watch list and it shows up in the Library tab of your Google TV. There's a certain something about the UI of the Google TV that just feels a little bit more sort of for you. Fire TV sticks tend to kind of push Amazon content more than anything else, and Roku sticks kind of just push whatever is new and relevant at the moment. The Google TV just feels a little bit better curated for you. Part of this is attributed to the ambient mode, which allows you to set it up so that it shows a slideshow of your Google Photos. It's nothing revolutionary, but it is a nice touch to have your photos there as opposed to just random nature shots. Amazon recently added a smart home dashboard functionality to their Fire lineup, and I really wish Google would copy that and come up with something similar. Just like a central place, maybe as ambient mode, to show the live feed of your cameras and the status of your different smart home devices. Within Google TV, you will find all your different favorite streaming apps. It doesn't have everything, but I think it has everything for 99.9% of people. But there are some random absences like Nick Jr., for example, and also Apple TV+. I have no idea why Nickelodeon wouldn't put Nick Jr. on there, but I assume that Apple TV Plus omission is some sort of weird argument between Google and Apple, and it kind of just ends up hurting the end consumer. Hopefully this ends soon so the world can keep watching Ted Lasso. Another strange omission from Google TV is multi-user support. You can sign in with multiple accounts, but the For You section is always going to just show the primary account holder, which is fine, but it'd be nice to be able to switch accounts. It already recognizes your voice profile, so it can give customized responses based on who's asking a question, but it kind of seems weird that it also wouldn't allow you to switch accounts. Hopefully you don't have too many people sharing your Chromecast at home because the For You section is going to be weird. A surprisingly cool feature that the Chromecast can accommodate is being part of a USB-C hub. That's right, if you connect the Chromecast to a USB-C hub that has USB-C pass-through, it can then recognize the other USB ports. You can use them for fun things like connecting a webcam and use that as a duo sort of video chat feature. You can also connect a thumb drive and access media on there. So all of this brings us to the golden question. Should you buy the Chromecast with Google TV? As always, we're going to start with price, which is $50. This puts it right in line with the Roku Streaming Stick Plus and kind of between the Fire Stick 4K and the Fire Cube. Between the great new remote, the awesome feature set, the clean and quick UI, I've had a really good experience with the Chromecast. So much so that I've stopped using my Apple TV. So I think the answer is a resounding yes. I think the Chromecast with Google TV is now the new default option for streaming sticks. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for plenty more videos to come. My question to you guys is, what streaming stick do you use, or streaming box, whatever? Are you in the market for a new one? If so, I would highly consider the Chromecast. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any other questions, please leave them down below and I'll get to them as best I can. And until next time, see ya.